The very first time I got band 5 by 5, especially in writing and speaking. Hi everyone, this is Teacher Wine speaking, and welcome to my channel. This is a video that you'll be able to see on my YouTube channel called Teacher Wine for Your Academic. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. So in today's video, I'd like to share about my personal IELTS journey. I took IELTS academic test 4 times in almost 14 years. So in today's video, what I like to share is why I took it, why I took them, and whether it was necessary or not. Was there any change in the test result? The question, whether you have to take it or not, several times, just like me. So let's get into it. Firstly, the first time I took the very first IELTS test was in 2012. At that time, I was 17. So I took IELTS not just as a student, even when I have become a teacher, I had to take it once again, especially because of my academic needs, of course. The last time was in 2024. The very first time I got band 5 by 5, especially in writing and speaking. Actually, at that time, I was not that ready. So why did I take it? At the time, I needed the result to apply for a polytechnics in Singapore. But was the score sufficient to get into polytechnics in Singapore? Yes, it was. And I did get an offer at Nghi An Polytechnics with a major of nursing. But guess what? I rejected the offer. Actually, if I ever took that offer, I wouldn't have needed to take IELTS later. But the thing was, I didn't see myself being a nurse at the time. That was a very huge decision, a very difficult decision that I had to make. I lost some trust from my family members as well. But I thought of myself first. I didn't think I was going to become a nurse at the time. And most importantly, I don't like studying medical related stuff. So that's why I turned down and rejected the offer at the age of 18. Well, my teachers, some of them were upset about my decisions, and my parents as well. They continued to talk about how my decision was wrong and how I should have taken the offer. Even years after that, it was difficult to receive those kinds of comments all the time. Okay, so the next time I was very determined. And at the time, that was after my bachelor, fourth year of my English bachelor. So my intention was to continue master studies right after my bachelor. And I tried so hard and I was really committed in learning and studying English, even as a subject, even it was dance street literary text. I was very determined, and then I tried my test result. I mean, my exam results to be as good as I could do. With that result, along with my IELTS test result, I was determined to apply for a master scholarship. At that time, I tried a lot and I practiced a lot and I was very determined to get a higher score because for scholarships, it's necessary to get a high band, of course. So that's why I was determined and I tried a lot. And at that time, I got a very equal and balanced score of 8 in reading and listening and 7 in writing and speaking. I was very satisfied, and my teachers, my IELTS teacher, he was also very pleased and happy for me to have received that score. Um, Fortunate or unfortunately, maybe later I would say fortunately, but at the time I felt very drained and hopeless because I couldn't choose the destination of my master studies. especially my family, my mom, she didn't really accept me to go to Korea. So 80% of the admission process was done. But then my family, my mom, thought Korea was not a good destination. Not because she knew about Korea a lot, but because she didn't want me to go. To say it simply, I mean, she didn't want me to go. So at that time, I felt really, really lost. I tried my IELTS to be the best as I could. And I also gathered other necessary documents. Some of them were very hard to find. I had to go to my high school, which was in Pyongyang, to get those necessary documents. So I went a long way, but I wasn't destined to be in Korea. So you asked why I thought of choosing Korea to study English. Of course, um, I was under the influence of Korean pop culture, and at that time, I think that was when I was around 22. That was my dream country to go. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I wasn't destined there. And the third time, um, that was right before COVID. I thought of applying a university in the West, probably the UK. I thought of that. So I tried the test for a third time, still academic test. The score still got balance. It's because of the continuous practice and also the momentum of the previous studies, I guess. So the test score maintained just like the second time. And then the thing about COVID happened and all the plans were almost canceled. I was not alone. Almost everybody was affected in that period, right? So I was not very sad about it, but my test score was wasted because it expired. At the end of the day, it went up to 2 years. And unfortunately, as luck would have it, we were in the worst period of time, starting from 2021, right? So the last time was last year, after January, where when I attended a conference in Thailand, in Chiang Mai to be exact. It was a teaching conference, and after that, I thought of continuing my master. So right before it, I still got that trauma of getting lost and failure to accomplish my goal several years before, starting from my Korean journey. Plus, my Korean language was also a waste. I learned it for 2 years, but I couldn't have a chance to use it properly just because I couldn't go there. So that failure still overwhelmed me, and I was not really confident. My very first step right after the conference in Thailand was to start learning, I mean, focusing on taking the test again and to trying my master journey again. Before that, I almost give up. I stopped doing anything. I was just committed myself in teaching, and I also stopped searching any possible appropriate course or scholarship that I could apply. So last year was when I decided to make a change, and I took IELTS tests again. And still, the test score maintained because of my continuous exposure to academic English and also as a teacher. But I took only 2 weeks to practice again because I was already in touch with what to do and how to study and which strategy to use and what the examiners are looking for.